everybody, I'm Christopher Green, and you're tuning into AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is, of course, early Friday morning, December 19th, 2014. And late last night, I posted a video titled Sony Hack an Inside Job, roughly about 8 hours ago. Very controversial video, which, by the way, I explain with extreme precision, that the Sony hack is not only likely, very likely, an inside job by Sony Corporation, Sony Pictures, but also U.S. intelligence, the CIA. And it's being used as a smokescreen, a smoke and mirrors campaign, in order to justify the surveillance state here in the United States of America. I encourage you to watch the video where you can get a full and entire explanation and analysis. But adding even more proof to the pudding this morning as I woke up was the fact that blasted all over the mainstream media and featured on the infamous Drudge Report is that George Clooney, who was, by the way, specifically mentioned in the leak, the controversial leak, the hack, who was, by the way, positioned in a very favorable light, is now actively campaigning, trying to rally support in Hollywood around Sony. Story developing. Isn't that interesting? You know, some of you may know, but probably not all of you, that George Clooney is a member, just happens to be a member of the CFR. Yeah, that's right, the Council on Foreign Relations. Interesting, isn't it? This posted by a reliable source, June 15th, 2010. This just in. George Clooney joins Council on Foreign Relations. Meet the dapper newest member of the Council on the CFR, George Clooney. The Oscar winner has been granted life membership in the prestigious think tank. Charlie Rose, a New York Times columnist, Nick Kristof, nominated him. CFR's Vice President Lisa Shields cited the actor's advocacy on the Darfur crisis and the importance of non-traditional voices in foreign policy. Also, interestingly and curiously, Michael Douglas and Warren Beatty are also life members, including Angelina Jolie, who is also, strangely, interestingly, and curiously, specifically mentioned in a negative light in the Sony hack. All you have to do is go to the CFR website at www.cfr.org, here we go, Council on Foreign Relations, to look up the membership roster, current as of December 18, 2014, and read George Clooney's name for yourself. Scroll down to the bottom here through countless names as we go through the C's, and you'll find Mr. Dapper George Clooney. Interesting. George Clooney, the mouthpiece, now speaking and trying to rally support for Sony, building support in Hollywood, just also happens to be a member of the CFR and the Council on Foreign Relations. But it doesn't stop there, America. You see, George Clooney also has a very interesting relationship with another very powerful person with direct connections to U.S. intelligence. Isn't that interesting? The beautiful Amal Alamuddin, who is now known as Amal, better known Amal Clooney. Here we have a story from Pop Culture says George Clooney and wife Amal go on another sushi date, post-wedding baby woes. Isn't that interesting? No doubt, a beautiful lady, but an attorney with direct ties to U.S. intelligence who's worked for in the past Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, who many have also suspected has direct ties with U.S. intelligence and the CIA. Wow, this is quite a power couple. George Clooney and Amal, a member of the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations, and also Amal, a high-powered attorney, many suspect working on behalf of U.S. intelligence. Here we have another story from Daily Mail, says exclusive, WikiLeaks lawyer goes to the White House. The night George Clooney took Julian Assange's stunning British lawyer to meet Obama at a private screening of Monuments Men. Here they are entering the White House in this blurred out picture, Mr. George Clooney, member of the CFR, and Amal, who very likely works for U.S. intelligence, approaching the White House. See George Clooney here? Very likely not only a CIA frontman, but working hand in hand with the Obama administration, which, by the way, is making a very big deal about this Sony hack, if you haven't noticed. Conveniently targeting and pointing a finger at everybody's favorite boogeyman, North Korea, saying now They might launch nuke attacks on nuclear power plants here in the United States. That it won't stop here with Sony. It could potentially destroy the entire world, not just with an EMP, but would also attack Wall Street. Isn't this all convenient? We have another corroborating report from Fox, which says Amal Alamuddin's connection to Julian Assange. Amal may forever be known as the woman who altered Bachelor George Clooney's views on marriage. But before her name was making headlines alongside Clooney's, the lawyer was linked to another very prominent man, Julian Assange. And here's a picture of Amal and Julian. In another report from the London Evening Standard, suggests Amal Alamuddin's caseload why the future Mrs. George Clooney isn't about to give up her day job as a human rights lawyer. In between last-minute preparations for her wedding to George Clooney, Miss Alamuddin is representing Julian Assange, an Al Jazeera journalist jailed in Egypt, and even Gaddafi's former intelligence chief. Isn't that interesting? You see how Amal and George Clooney are directly linked to U.S. intelligence? As I said before, this is quite the power couple. And isn't it interesting how George Clooney is directly involved, mentioned favorably, and is now pushing the agenda that makes up the Sony hack? Again, all of this featured on the Drudge Report right now. Clooney tries to rally Hollywood around Sony, and also featured with this article at Deadline.com, Hollywood Cowardice. George Clooney explains why Sony stood alone in North Korean cyber attack. Spin job. And this is really what this is, folks. A spin job by George Clooney, who is very likely an inside man, a CIA frontman, working hand-in-hand with the Obama administration and the White House, a member of the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations, for God's sakes, and also his wife, the power couple, Amal, who also has direct ties working for people like Julian Assange, Gaddafi intelligence, and direct ties to U.S. intelligence here in the United States. You see, folks, none of this is a conspiracy. It's just reality. Just go and see for yourself. Read the website, Council on Foreign Relations. Read these corroborating reports. Read the fact that George Clooney joined the Council of Foreign Relations and was nominated by Charlie Rose and Nick Kristof. All of this are the hard-hitting facts. You see, this whole story about Sony, this whole Sony hack, is a con job. It's a fraud, and it's a scam. And it's serving up a very specific agenda. Again, plant the seed of fear in every American's minds that the criminal, illegal, and anti-constitutional surveillance state, this NSA spy grid program that is spying on Americans illegally, is justified. And that at any moment, at any time, for any reason, you could be attacked and your very controversial, humiliating emails leaked to the general public. And it's exactly why you need Obama to commit illegal acts and to support illegal agencies like the NSA and continue their vast Orwellian spy program here in the whorehouse that makes up the USSA today. Get this story out everywhere. Make it viral. I'm Christopher Green. You've been tuning into AMTV, Alternative Media Television. And click the link below to support our sponsor.
Let's face it, nearly everyone was talking about a woman with a formidable resume now joining forces with a man who used his celebrity for some serious purposes. ABC's Paula Ferris tells us more about the people behind all the pictures.
Tonight, the world's abuzz. It's not often that an engagement rockets around the globe.
You have to let me go.
No, Hollywood's #1 bachelor is finally letting go of that promise he once made to Barbara Walters.
I know I'm never going to get married again because I wasn't very good at it.
But he didn't know this woman was in his future. Amal Alamuddin is an Oxford-educated attorney and speaks 3 languages, English, French, and Arabic. She once clerked for Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, and they have plenty in common. A shared passion for humanitarian work and family background. Clooney's dad, a TV anchor. Amal's mother, a journalist too. The world's most eligible bachelor tonight no longer running from the altar and teaching us all a lesson to never say never. Paula Ferris, ABC News, New York.